In 2013, the Tompkins County Legislature announced the proposal for the $900,000 expansion of the Tompkins County Jail by adding 7 beds. When approved, the county will borrow approximately $1 million, and taxpayers will pay an estimated $435,000 in interest on the money borrowed, according to County Administrator Joe Mariani and the fact sheet on the proposed Tompkins County Jail expansion, a survey conducted by community members. Members of the Ithaca community, frustrated that the jail expansion project was decided without community input, organized the Stop the Tompkins County Jail Coalition to address the issues surrounding the expansion. And on November 7, 2013, the first public forum was held to address the legislature about Ithaca's residents' concerns with the expansion.
Why was this passed so quickly and not the public didn't have a chance at all to sit down like they're doing right now to stop it?
The public raised questions about the funding of the project, the alternatives to incarceration, and why the expansion took place when affordable housing, transportation, and public schools are facing severe budget cuts. Then, on February 18th, a second forum was held where numerous Ithaca residents, college students, and Tompkins County legislators gathered at the courthouse to discuss passing a moratorium to possibly prevent the Tompkins County Jail expansion.
It was voted down, we only got three votes to 11, which was expected. We actually went in there knowing that we weren't going to win that part.
That's Kayla Young, an Ithaca College junior and a member of the Sean Greenwood Working Group. Young worked with Ithaca College students and community members to organize a creative approach when addressing the legislature about the moratorium and the jail expansion proposal.
So we met Sunday afternoon, went about some points that we wanted to touch on and that we thought we could do very well, really excel on, and how we would do it and what was our main approach. And we came up with we're all affected, we're all connected.
Young said that even though the moratorium was voted down 11-3, the presence of community members and college students was empowering.
It was so great to just see all the right people there, all the people who really had a personal investment. They held a sign, they stayed to the end. It was all right, so what are we going to do afterwards? So that was really great. It was that I think that's one of the key reasons why I left that meeting feeling so good, because it's I had all of my IC people with me.
But for Young and many other local residents, the fight to stop the Tompkins County Jail expansion is not over. Many continue to feel that the expansion will increase jail population and take away money from schools and local organizations that help keep residents out of jail in the first place.
What we essentially were arguing is that instead of keep building the infrastructure of what today is one of the most detrimental, institutionally racist, ineffective systems in the world, why keep investing in that when we should be investing instead in alternatives to incarceration, right?
Dr. Paula Iwanide, a professor at Ithaca College and a member of the Sean Greenwood Working Group and the Stop the Tompkins County Jail Coalition, says that community action pushed the Tompkins County Legislature to create the Jail Alternatives Task Force. This committee aims to review existing alternatives to incarceration and make recommendations to the legislature about community-based programs that would reduce the jail population.
I'm here with a 3-page outline for you. I have copies for each of you. You can create something that works, an alternative to incarceration, an alternative to expanding this jail. I'd like to see you take the $900,000 to $1.1 million and invest it in a one-on-one mentor program.
That's Mary Ann Susie Kozak, who spoke to the legislature last Tuesday night. The mentor program she suggested at the public forum is one of the many proposals recommended by the task force.
One of the first things we're trying to assess is what obstacles are in your way that's getting you back into jail, for a parole or a probation violation. Is it the fact that you can't get employment? We're just trying to, without any judgment, just really think through the roadblocks that people have who are most likely to end back up in jail, especially if they have former records.
For Iwanide, the biggest question is whether the Tompkins County Legislature will actually fund and take into account jail alternatives recommended by the community.
Does the community really have a voice who wouldn't otherwise already be, represented by these people who have a much more official capacity?
In order to get incarcerated voices heard, the Sean Greenwood Working Group and the Stop the Tompkins County Jail Coalition is starting a community listening project to discuss residents' experiences in the prison system in upstate New York and the issues with race and class correlations with the jail system. The purpose of the project is to interview community members who have been through the system and to assess recommendations for alternative ways to reduce the jail population. The Sean Greenwood Working Group and the Stop the Tompkins County Jail Coalition plan to present these proposals to the county legislature. During the public legislature forum last Tuesday night, legislator Peter Stein addressed the public and his colleagues about the legislature's likely decision to expand the jail.
So I just wanted to say something to the people who I've sat and listened to. Unfortunately, we being my colleagues and myself and you are talking past each other. I would like to make a very short, clear statement. Neither I nor any of my colleagues believes that by doing the jail expansion that we're going to keep more people out of jail. Nobody says that. The jail expansion is done for one and only one reason: to keep more people out of non-Tompkins County jails. The idea is that we have a bigger jail, that the people who are now serving time outside of our borders will come and serve the same time inside our borders and save us money. We're spending $900,000 to save us money.
Stein is referring to the idea that the jail expansion will reduce boarding out costs because it will meet New York State Commissioner of Corrections' expectations on jail overcrowding progress. According to the survey conducted by community members on the proposed Tompkins County Jail expansion, the New York State Commissioner of Corrections currently grants Tompkins County variances that allow the double bunking of people in jail. While the current jail capacity allows for approximately 75 people in the jail, the variances allow the county to increase the jail population to an additional 18 people, raising the amount of inmates to 93. However, according to the fact sheet, in exchange for the variances, the State Commissioner of Corrections needs to see progress on jail overcrowding. According to reports from the fact sheet, expanding local jail capacity is one of the ways the Tompkins County Legislature might show this progress, on the expense of local taxpayers. The fact sheet reports that taxpayers will pay interest on the money borrowed for the jail expansion over a 20-year period.
We all have the power to stand up to the state commission and not show progress on this expansion, okay? But the state is going to penalize us. How is the state going to penalize us? They're going to tell us, you now do not have a variance, and therefore now you have to, I don't even know what the penalty is, right? Is the penalty to board out even more people? Is the penalty, what is the penalty?
For many residents, the legislature's support of the jail expansion speaks to a larger issue of mass incarceration in the state of New York.
What they didn't hear us say is that you give in to 7 beds, you've given in to 194 beds also, you know? And this whole idea of a humane jail, you know, if anyone has ever been in jail, you know that, of course, you want the recreational space, but you much rather not be in jail. My big question to myself after tonight is how us who refuse to subscribe to that logic, how are we going to organize?
And many locals will continue to organize in the hopes the legislature will hear their concerns before they cast their final votes on the jail expansion on June 3rd. This is Maya Cueva reporting for WRFI Community Radio.